The first time I heard my mother call me a cash cow, I was standing outside our kitchen with an armful of groceries I'd bought for them. Again. My hand froze on the doorknob as her voice drifted through, sharp and clear despite her attempts to whisper. "Audrey's always been reliable that way," she said to my brother. "Work, work, work, like a good little drone. She'll keep paying as long as we keep pushing the right buttons." I'm Audrey, 31, corporate consultant, and apparently my family's personal ATM. The grocery bags suddenly felt like they weighed 1,000 pounds. "Yeah, but what if she gets married or something?" Caden's voice was worried. "What if she wants the apartment back?" "Please." Mum's laugh was like ice down my spine. "Your sister's too busy being the responsible one to date. Besides, I raised her right. Family comes first, remember? She'd never throw us out." I stood there, frozen, as years of memories crashed through my mind like dominoes. The proud smile on Mum's face when I got my first consulting job. "My brilliant girl," she'd said, right before asking for help with the rent. Caden's art school tuition that somehow became my responsibility, the luxury downtown apartment I bought for them because family takes care of family. "Still," Caden pressed, "shouldn't we get her to sign over the deed? You know, make it official." "Already working on it, sweetie. Give it time. Your sister's smart with business but stupid with love. All I have to do is cry about getting older, throw in some guilt about all I sacrificed raising you both alone." The grocery bag split. Oranges rolled across the floor, one hitting the door with a soft thud. The kitchen went silent. "Audrey?" Mom called out. "Is that you, honey?" I grabbed my keys and ran. Straight to the elevator, past Corbin the super, who called out a friendly hello, through the lobby, and onto the street. My phone buzzed. Probably Mom, wondering where her groceries were. I ended up in a coffee shop 3 blocks away, hands shaking as I tried to order something. Anything. The barista looked concerned. "Rough day?" she asked, sliding me a cup of whatever I'd managed to request. "Just found out I'm a farm animal," I said, attempting a laugh that came out more like a sob. "Apparently I'm a very profitable cow." My phone buzzed again. This time it was Quinn from work. "Hey, you okay? You never miss client calls." I glanced at my watch. 2:30 p.m. Right, the Thompson Project review. "Food poisoning," I texted back. "Cover for me?" "Always. But you owe me dinner." I smiled despite everything. Quinn had been dropping hints like that for months. I'd always been too busy with family obligations to notice, too busy being the responsible one, the reliable one, the stupid one. Mum called again. I let it ring. "Your mother must be worried," said a voice in my head that sounded suspiciously like my childhood self. "Family comes first, remember?" "Family comes first," I whispered, then laughed bitterly. "Except when it comes to actually being family." My phone lit up with a text from Caden. "Mum's freaking out. Where are you? She needs you." Of course she does. She needs her cash cow, her golden goose, her dutiful daughter who works 60-hour weeks so they can live in luxury while she eats microwave dinners in a tiny studio apartment. I opened my contacts and scrolled past Mum's number to one I'd saved months ago, but never called. Alison Murray, Family Law. "Hi," I said when she answered. "I need help evicting my family from my apartment." There was a pause. "Come to my office, now. Bring any documentation you have." I stood up, leaving my untouched coffee behind. My phone buzzed again, Mom calling for the 5th time. I declined the call and typed out a message. "Sorry about the groceries. Not feeling well. Talk tomorrow." The response was immediate. "Feel better, sweetie. By the way, my birthday's coming up. I was thinking we could discuss something special. About the apartment." I stared at the message, remembering her words from earlier. Smart with business, stupid with love. Well, Mom, I thought, sliding my phone into my pocket. Let's see how stupid I really am. The late afternoon sun cast long shadows as I walked to Allison's office. Each step felt lighter than the last, like I was finally waking up from a long, suffocating dream. My phone kept buzzing, but I didn't check it again. They wanted to clip my wings. Fine, but they forgot one thing. Even a caged bird remembers how to fly. Allison's office smelled like leather and coffee. She sat across from me, scanning the documents I'd brought. Deed, mortgage statements, utility bills. 3 years of financial receipts that mapped out my family's slow consumption of my life. "Let me get this straight," she said, tapping a manicured nail against my credit card statement. "You're paying for a luxury 3-bedroom apartment downtown while you live in a studio?" "They needed the space more," I said automatically, then winced at how pathetic it sounded. "Honey, what they need is a reality check." She leaned forward. "This is elder abuse in reverse. They're bleeding you dry." My phone buzzed again. Mum's face lit up the screen. Her 15th call since yesterday. "Answer it," Allison said. "On speaker. Let's hear what she's selling." I took a deep breath and picked up. "Hi, Mom." "Audrey, finally. We've been so worried. Are you feeling better, sweetheart?" "Much better," I lied, watching Allison's eyebrows rise at Mom's sugary tone. Good. Listen, I've been thinking about my birthday next month. You know how I've always wanted to make sure everything's settled for Caden's future." "Mom, just hear me out, sweetie. I found these wonderful real estate agents who could help us transfer the apartment deed. You're so busy with work, you don't need the hassle of property management. We could handle everything." Allison was already shaking her head, mouthing no emphatically. "I'll think about it," I said, my voice steady despite the trembling in my hands. "Got to go. Client meeting." I hung up before she could respond. "Well," Allison said, "that was educational. Now, let's look at your bank statements from the past month." She spread them out like playing cards. My stomach churned as I saw the pattern. Withdrawals at high-end restaurants I'd never visited, charges at furniture stores, even a consultation fee for, I squinted at the entry, Premier Real Estate Services. "They're already spending the money they think they'll get from selling the apartment," I whispered. "After they force you out," Allison confirmed. "Classic setup. They're probably documenting every interaction, building a case that you promised them ownership." My phone pinged with a text from Quinn. "Missed you in the budget meeting. Brought you soup. Outside your building." "I'm not there," I replied. "At a lawyer's office." 3 dots appeared immediately. "Everything okay? Need backup?" I smiled despite everything. "Maybe later. Rain check on the soup." "It's a date." Finally, Allison cleared her throat. "Focus, Audrey. We need to move fast. First step, freeze all their access to your accounts. Then we draft an eviction notice. But what if they— No!" She held up her hand. "That right there? That hesitation? That's what they've weaponized. Every but what if is another chain they've wrapped around you." She was right. I'd spent my whole life wondering, what if? What if Mom couldn't manage without me? What if Caden ended up homeless? What if I was being a bad daughter? "Okay," I said. "Where do we start?" 2 hours later, I had a new bank account, cancelled credit cards, and a stack of legal documents that felt like freedom. My phone had 30 missed calls and twice as many texts. "Don't respond," Allison advised. "Let them sweat, and don't go back to that apartment until we serve the papers." "Where am I supposed to stay? Got any friends they don't know about?" I thought about Quinn's soup, still waiting somewhere, about all the dinners I'd declined because Mom needed me home, about the life I'd put on hold while funding theirs. "Yeah," I said. "I think I do." Walking out of Allison's office, I felt lighter than I had in years. Until I checked my email and found a message from Corbin, the building super. Hey, Audrey! Weird question, but did you authorize the real estate appraisal today? Your brother let them in, said you knew about it, need to confirm for building records. My hands shook as I forwarded the email to Allison, adding, "They're moving faster than we thought." Her response was immediate. "So will we. Come back tomorrow. Bring coffee. We're going nuclear." I hailed a cab and finally texted Quinn back. "Still have that soup? Could use a friend right now." "Always," came the reply. "My place is soup-ready and family drama-free." As the cab pulled away from the curb, my phone lit up with Mum's face again. This time, I didn't feel the usual surge of guilt when I declined the call. Instead, I felt something unfamiliar, something that took me a moment to recognize. It was relief. Quinn's apartment was exactly what you'd expect from a corporate analyst: minimalist, organized, and equipped with a coffee machine that probably cost more than my first car. He ladled soup into bowls while I sat at his kitchen island, explaining everything. "So, they were planning to flip your apartment?" He shook his head. "That's some next-level manipulation." 3 days since I cut off the money," I said, stirring my soup. "Want to guess how many guilt trips I've gotten?" "Show me." I pulled out my phone and scrolled through the messages. "Caden sent this one an hour ago. Had to cancel my art show because I can't pay the gallery fee. Thanks for killing my dreams, sis." Quinn snorted. "The same art show he's been planning for 2 years? And here's Mum's latest. Eating crackers for dinner because the credit card was declined. Remember when I used to skip meals so you could eat? Funny how she managed to send that from a restaurant's location tag," Quinn pointed out, peering at my screen. My phone buzzed with a new message. From Corbin. "Your brother's showing the apartment to more realtors. Said you approved it. Please confirm?" "They're getting desperate," Quinn said, reading over my shoulder. "What's your next move?" Before I could answer, my phone rang. Mum's face filled the screen. "Put it on speaker," Quinn whispered. "I'll be quiet." I answered. "Hi, Mom. Audrey, thank God. We've been so worried. The cards aren't working. There must be some mistake." "No mistake," I said, gripping my spoon tighter. "I cancelled them." Silence. Then, But how are we supposed to live? The same way other people do, with jobs." "Is this about the apartment?" Her voice turned sharp. "Has someone been telling you lies about us? We're your family, Audrey. Everything we've done has been for your own good." Quinn made a gagging motion. I bit back a laugh. "Actually, Mom, I've been thinking about what's for my own good lately." "Don't take that tone with me, young lady. After everything I've sacrificed." "You mean after everything I've paid for?" Another silence. When she spoke again, her voice was trembling. "Your brother is crying. He might have to drop out of his photography course. Is that what you want?" "He's 36, Mum. Maybe it's time he learned to support himself." "I can't believe you're being so selfish. What happened to my sweet, caring daughter?" "She woke up." I ended the call. Quinn whistled low. "That was terrifying? Liberating? Like jumping off a cliff?" I was going to say hot, but those work too. I threw my napkin at him, laughing for what felt like the first time in weeks. The moment was broken by rapid-fire texts from Caden. "Mum's having chest pains. This is your fault. If anything happens to her, I'll never forgive you." Quinn read them and rolled his eyes. "Let me guess. She miraculously recovers when you send money?" "Every time." I put my phone face down. "I can't go back there." "Stay here," he said. "I have a spare room. No strings, no guilt trips, no family drama, just soup and space to breathe." I looked at him, really looked at him, for maybe the first time. "Why are you helping me? Because 2 years ago, I watched you skip lunch for a month to pay for your brother's emergency car repair. Because you deserve better than being someone's ATM. Because—" He shrugged. "Maybe I like having you around." My phone buzzed again. This time it was Allison. Your mother just called my office. Threatened to sue for elder abuse. Please tell me you're documenting everything. I showed Quinn the message. Still want me around? This is going to get ugly. Bring it on. He took my bowl to the sink. I make excellent stress relief soup. That night, lying in Quinn's spare room, I got one final text from Mum. I raised you better than this. Family comes first, remember? Don't make me tell people what an ungrateful daughter you really are. I stared at the message for a long time before typing back. Go ahead, Mom. Tell them everything. I'm done keeping your secrets. Then I blocked her number, turned off my phone, and had the best sleep I'd had in years. In the morning, Quinn was already up, making coffee. Ready for war? He asked, sliding me a mug. I took a sip, thinking about Mom's threat, about Caden's fake tears, about all the years I'd spent being their personal bank. No, I said. I'm ready for peace. They just won't like my terms. Record everything, Allison said, adjusting my phone's position on the coffee shop table. Every conversation, every text, every accidental run-in. Your mother's the type to play victim when cornered. Right on cue, my temporary phone buzzed. Mum had already found my new number. Ready? Allison asked. I nodded and answered. Hello? Audrey, finally! Mum's voice dripped honey. We need to talk about this silly situation. I'm at that little cafe you like, the one near your office. Join me? I was already there, watching her through the window as she sat alone, dabbing at dry eyes with a tissue. Classic Mom, setting the stage for her performance. I'll be there in 5, I said, ending the call. Allison squeezed my arm. Remember the plan. Let her talk. Let her incriminate herself. I walked outside and around the block, then entered the cafe as if I'd just arrived. Mum jumped up, arms wide for a hug I didn't return. Oh, sweetie, she sniffled. You look terrible. Are you eating? Living in hotels can't be good for you. I'm fine, Mom. What do you want? She flinched at my tone. Can't a mother worry about her daughter? Everything I've done has been to protect you. Protect me? My laugh drew looks from nearby tables. By using me? Using you? Is that what someone's been telling you? She leaned forward, voice dropping. Has that lawyer been filling your head with nonsense? You know how they twist things. The only twisting happening here is you trying to steal my apartment. Her face changed, just for a second, but I caught it. Rage, quickly masked by hurt. Steal? Darling, we just want to secure everyone's future. You're so busy with work. Managing property would be such a burden. If you just sign the deed over, so you can sell it? Of course not! But... She paused, calculating. If we did decide to sell, you wouldn't want poor Caden homeless, would you? After everything we've been through as a family? My phone recorded every word as I asked, What exactly have we been through, Mom? I raised you alone. I sacrificed everything. Dad left because you emptied his accounts, just like you're doing to me. She went very still. Who told you that? Dad did. I found him last week. It was a bluff, but her reaction confirmed everything. She grabbed her purse, standing so quickly, her chair scraped back. That man is a liar. He abandoned us. I can't believe you'd betray me like this, after everything... Everything you sacrificed? Yeah, you mentioned that, along with telling Caden I'm your personal ATM. Her mouth opened, closed. I never... You did, in the kitchen. Remember? Smart with business, stupid with love. Those were your exact words. Colour drained from her face. You were spying on us? No, Mum. I was bringing you groceries, again. But please, tell me more about how you've sacrificed everything for me. She sat back down, switching tactics. Tears welled up. You're right. I've made mistakes. But we can fix this, can't we? For family? My phone buzzed. Quinn checking in. You okay? Need backup? I smiled at the message, and Mom pounced. Is that a boy? Oh, sweetheart. You know how men can take advantage. Stop! I stood up. The apartment stays in my name. The money stops now. You have 30 days to find a new place. You wouldn't dare. Her tears vanished. I'll tell everyone what an abusive daughter you are, how you left your poor mother homeless. Your reputation will be ruined. I pulled out a manila envelope, empty, but she didn't know that, and placed it on the table. Go ahead. Meanwhile, I'll share these records with every family member, friend, and social media platform. Every manipulation, every lie, every dollar you took. Your choice. She stared at the envelope, then at me, seeing me clearly maybe for the first time. You've changed, she whispered. No, Mom, I've woken up. 30 days. That's generous considering everything. I walked out, hands shaking but head high. Quinn was waiting outside. How'd it go? I showed him the recording. Think it's enough? For the lawyers? Definitely. For your peace of mind? That's up to you. My phone buzzed with a text from Caden. Mum's crying because of you. Again. Hope you're happy with yourself. I typed back. I am. For the first time in years. Quinn read over my shoulder and grinned. Now that's the kind of family drama I can get behind. Dinner? Actually, I said, I need to apartment hunt. Know any good places? Funny you should ask. He pulled out his phone, showing me a listing. There's a great unit available in my building. I looked at the photos, then at him. Are you sure you want to be neighbors with all this mess? Audrey, he said, taking my hand. I've never been more sure of anything. For once, I didn't check my buzzing phone. Some messages could wait. The birthday dinner was my idea. One last family meal before everything changed. Quinn thought I was crazy, but Allison approved, as long as we did it in public. Less chance of a scene, she said, and more witnesses. I reserved a table at Mum's favourite restaurant, the kind of place where the menu doesn't show prices. Fitting, since she'd never seen the bills anyway. They arrived together, Mum in her best martyr outfit, and Caden sporting his struggling artist look, complete with a carefully distressed jacket that probably cost more than my monthly rent. Darling, Mum air-kissed my cheeks. We were so surprised by the invitation. Weren't we, Caden? Whatever, he mumbled, already scanning the wine list. I'd arrived early and ordered champagne. It sat, chilling in its bucket, like a time bomb in ice. Before we order, I said, lifting my glass, a toast, to family, and to truth. Mom's smile flickered. Sweetie, about our little disagreement. I bought an apartment, I interrupted, in Quinn's building. Caden dropped his menu. You're moving? But what about your inheritance? I took a sip of champagne. That's why we're here, to discuss the future. Now, Audrey, Mom started, but I wasn't finished. I've done the math. Over the past 5 years, I've given you nearly $500,000. The waiter approached. Mom waved him away with practiced charm. That's ridiculous, she laughed. You're exaggerating. I pulled out my tablet, sliding it across the table. Bank statements, credit card bills, property taxes, even Caden's 3 abandoned degree programs. Those weren't abandoned, Caden protested. I'm finding myself artistically. On my dime. I turned to Mom. Did you really think I wouldn't notice the real estate agents? The appraisals? Her face hardened. We were trying to protect you. From what? Financial security? Independence? Love? That boy is using you, she hissed. He's after your money, just like your father. Quinn makes twice what I do. I cut in. And Dad? He's doing great. Remarried, happy, free of debt. Wonder why? Mom's hand shook as she reached for her water. You said you found him last week. I lied. Found him 3 years ago. He told me everything, including how you drained his accounts before filing for divorce. Caden looked between us, confused. Mom? Don't listen to her, Mom snapped. She's turned cruel, ungrateful. The apartment stays in my name, I said quietly. You have 23 days left to move out. You can't do this. Caden stood up, drawing stares. We're family. No, I said. We're a business arrangement, and I'm foreclosing. Mom grabbed my arm. Think about what you're doing. Once you cross this line, you crossed it first. Every time you used my love against me. Every time you taught Caden that manipulation was easier than work. Every time you looked at my success and saw only dollar signs. I raised you to understand family obligations. You raised me to be your bank. I stood up, dropping my napkin. The account is closed. Caden started to cry. Real tears this time, not the performative ones he usually used. Where are we supposed to go? There's a nice apartment complex across town. Affordable. Within walking distance of several entry-level job opportunities. I placed a folder on the table. I took the liberty of gathering some applications. Mum knocked the folder aside. How dare you? Happy birthday, Mum. Consider this your gift, a chance to finally grow up. I walked out, ignoring their calls behind me. Quinn was waiting in his car. You okay? He asked as I slid into the passenger seat. Through the restaurant window, I could see Mum dramatically dabbing her eyes while nearby diners pretended not to watch. They'll try to fight this, I said. Let them. The law's on your side. My phone lit up with messages. You're killing your mother. We'll tell everyone what you've done. Family is forever. You'll regret this. I turned off my phone and looked at Quinn. Take me home. He smiled. Which home? Your old apartment or the new one? The new one. I leaned back, feeling lighter than I had in years. Time to start unpacking. Speaking of unpacking, he said, pulling away from the curb. Want help with the emotional baggage too? I laughed, a real laugh, not the careful one I'd used around my family for years. Are you offering to be my therapist or my boyfriend? How about just someone who sees you, the real you, not the ATM version? Behind us, the restaurant grew smaller in the mirror, along with the life I was leaving behind. I'd like that, I said. The real me could use a friend. Good, he replied, because the real you is pretty amazing. For once, I actually believed it. The Reddit post wasn't my idea. Quinn suggested it after Mum's latest attempt at public shaming, a tearful Facebook video about ungrateful children that had our relatives buzzing. Tell your side, he said, watching me scroll through angry messages from distant aunts. The truth deserves airtime too, so I did. Late one night I typed out everything, the financial abuse, the manipulation, the apartment scheme, posted it on True off my chest with a simple title, I'm evicting my family and I don't feel guilty anymore. It went viral overnight. Your post is trending, Quinn announced, bringing coffee to my desk. The comments are wild. I was already reading them. OMG, my mum does the same thing. You're so brave for standing up to them. Please update us when they move out. Then my phone rang. Allison. Your mother's busy, she said without preamble. She's trying to contact every legal aid office in the city. Also, have you seen Caden's response video? I hadn't. Quinn pulled it up on his laptop. My brother, artfully dishevelled, talking about mental health and family trauma. The comments were full of people offering to help fund his artistic recovery. He's good, Quinn admitted, really selling the struggling artist angle. Check his new PayPal, Allison suggested. I did. My stomach turned. He's raised $12,000. People love a victim, Allison said, but we have receipts. Literally. I posted them all, every bank statement, every manipulative text, every recorded conversation, including Mum's birthday dinner performance. The internet exploded. My inbox flooded with messages from other people sharing similar stories. One caught my eye, from Nancy, my childhood best friend who disappeared after high school. I always wondered why you stopped hanging out, she wrote. Now I know. Your mum told me you were too busy for friends, that you wanted to focus on family. I should have seen through it. I'm so sorry. I was still staring at her message when Corbin called. Your brother's doing something weird, he said. There's a film crew in the apartment. He's giving interviews about generational trauma and toxic success culture. Should I stop them? Record everything, I said, remembering Allison's advice. And yes, please remove them. They don't have permission to film there. Already on it. Oh, and your mom's been asking about your new address, several times. Thought you should know. Quinn looked up from his laptop. We should increase security at your building. Already done, I said. But Mom's not the type for direct confrontation. She prefers psychological warfare. Right on cue, my work email pinged. Someone had sent my viral Reddit post to every executive at my company. Trying to get me fired, I muttered. Classic Mom. But the response wasn't what she expected. My boss called almost immediately. Audrey, just read your post. My sister went through something similar. Take whatever time you need to handle this. We've got your back. The support was overwhelming. For every angry relative, there were dozens of strangers sharing their own stories of breaking free from financial abuse. You've started something, Quinn said, scrolling through the responses. Look at all these people finding their voice because of you. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Mom, with yet another new approach. I'm in the hospital, stress-induced collapse. Are you happy now? I showed Quinn, who checked her Instagram. Weird, she seems fine in the poolside photo she posted an hour ago. I blocked the number and turned back to my laptop, where Nancy had sent another message. Having coffee at that place we used to love. Remember? By the library? If you're free. Quinn saw me hesitate. Go, he said. I'll monitor the situation here. You deserve to rebuild the friendships they took from you. At the cafe, Nancy looked exactly the same, and completely different. We hugged like no time had passed. I saw Caden's videos, she said as we sat down. He always was good at playing the victim. Remember when he blamed us for breaking your mom's vase? I laughed. The one he threw during a tantrum? Yeah. You know what's weird? She stirred her coffee. Looking back, I can't remember a single time when you were allowed to just be a kid. You were always taking care of them. Not anymore, I said. My phone lit up with another Instagram notification. Mom had posted a childhood photo of us, caption reading, "Missing my sweet, loving daughter, praying she finds her way back to family values." Nancy read it and snorted. Want to take a selfie? Show her what real friendship looks like? We did, grinning like teenagers. I posted it with the caption, "Found my way back to what matters, authentic relationships, and genuine love." Mom deleted her post an hour later. Sometimes the best revenge is simply being happy. Moving day arrived with a mix of rain and drama. I stood in the lobby of my apartment building, watching through the glass doors as Mom orchestrated her final performance. "Careful with that," she shouted at the movers. "It's an antique." It wasn't. I'd bought that coffee table from IKEA 3 years ago. Quinn squeezed my hand. "Ready?" "No," I admitted, "but let's do this anyway." Corbin met us at the door. "They've been at it since 6 a.m. Your brother's filming everything." Sure enough, Caden had his phone out, narrating to his followers. "Day of exile. watching my family being forced onto the streets. Streets? Quinn muttered. They're moving to a fully furnished apartment I found them. Doesn't fit his starving artist narrative, I said, pushing through the doors. Mum spotted me immediately. Oh, everyone! Look who finally showed up! The daughter who's throwing her family away! Several passers-by slowed down, sensing drama. Caden aimed his camera at me. Don't, I warned him. You're not authorized to film here. The public has a right to know. The public knows plenty, Quinn interrupted. Your sister's Reddit post has 2 million views. Mom whirled around. You! She pointed at Quinn. You turned her against us! No, Mom. You did that all by yourself. After everything I've sacrificed. Stop. My voice cut through her familiar script. Just stop. The movers are paid for. The new apartment is ready. Your choice if you want to make this harder than it needs to be. Our choice? Caden laughed bitterly. Like we had a choice in any of this? You had plenty of choices, I said. You could have gotten jobs, paid your own bills, been actual family instead of professional parasites. How dare you? Mom stepped toward me, hand raised. Quinn moved between us. That's assault on camera, ma'am. Want to try explaining that to your social media followers? She dropped her hand, but her eyes were pure venom. You think you've won? Wait until everyone sees what an ungrateful, heartless daughter you really are. Too late. I pulled out my phone. They've already seen the real story. The bank statements, the recordings, the truth. Truth? Caden scoffed. Our truth or yours? How about the truth about Dad? Mom went pale. Don't. How you drained his accounts. How you told everyone he abandoned us when really he was trying to stop your spending? That truth? Your father was weak. No, he was smart. He got out. Just like I'm doing. Caden lowered his phone. Mom? What's she talking about? She's lying, Mom said quickly. Like father, like daughter, both selfish, both... I have his number, I cut in. Want to ask him yourself, Caden? He stared at me, then at Mom. For the first time, I saw doubt crack his perfect victim facade. The movers are waiting, I said softly, and your new place has good light for painting. Real painting, not just Instagram photos of blank canvases. He flushed, another truth exposed. Mom tried one last time. Audrey, please, we can fix this. We're family. No, Mom, we're not. We're a business arrangement you're trying to emotionally blackmail me into continuing. And I quit. You'll regret this, she hissed. You'll end up alone and miserable. I looked at Quinn, at Nancy waiting by her car, at Corbin who'd had my back through all of this. I'm not alone, I said. I'm free. The movers finished loading the truck. Mom made a show of dabbing her eyes as she got into her car. Caden hesitated. The apartment, he started. Is mine, I finished. Time to stand on your own feet, little brother. He nodded slowly. I don't know how. The new place is near 3 art supply stores all hiring part-time. Start there. For a moment, he looked like the kid he used to be, before Mom turned him into her weapon. I'm sorry, he whispered. Then he got into the car. I watched them drive away, Mom already on her phone, probably planning her next social media attack, but it didn't matter anymore. Quinn put his arm around me. You okay? No, I said honestly. But I will be. Nancy walked over, holding up her keys. Ready to see your apartment? The real one, not the one they took over? I looked up at my building, my home, finally just mine. Actually, I said, I want to do something first. I pulled out my phone and opened Reddit. Update. They're gone, and I'm finally starting to breathe. The first comment appeared almost instantly. Welcome to freedom. It gets better from here. Looking at my real family, chosen, not forced, I knew they were right. The key felt different in my hand as I unlocked the apartment door. Same metal, same weight, but everything else had changed. "Ready?" Quinn asked behind me, holding a box labeled New Start. I pushed the door open. The space echoed with emptiness. No more guilt trip photos on the walls. No more expensive furniture bought with my credit cards. Just possibility. My phone buzzed. A text from Caden. "Found a job. Art supply store. It's weird having a real paycheck." "Good," I typed back, then added, "Proud of you." Nancy appeared in the doorway with pizza and wine. "Housewarming time? Or should we sage the place first?" "Both," Quinn decided. "Definitely both." We sat on the floor, eating pizza off paper plates, when my laptop pinged. Another comment on my final Reddit update. "What happened with your dad? Did you ever reconnect?" Nancy read it over my shoulder. "Have you called him?" "Not yet." I pulled out my phone, staring at his number. "What if—" "Call," Quinn said simply. I did. "Audrey?" Dad's voice was exactly as I remembered. "I saw your post. Are you okay?" "I'm better now." My voice shook slightly. "Mom and Caden moved out today. I know. Your mother called to inform me what a terrible daughter you are." He chuckled. "Sounds like you finally saw through her act." "Why didn't you tell me? About the money? About why you really left?" "Would you have believed me then?" "No," I admitted. "I had to see it for myself. Some lessons are like that." He paused. "I'm in town next week. Coffee? I'd like that." After we hung up, Nancy raised her wine glass. "To facing fears. To boundaries," Quinn added. "To freedom," I finished. My phone lit up again. Mum's latest Facebook post tagging me. "Pray for those who forget their family obligations. Some wounds never heal." I clicked block, without hesitation. "Speaking of healing," Nancy said, "remember that therapist I mentioned? She specializes in family trauma. No pressure, but—" "I'll call tomorrow," I said. "It's time." Quinn started unpacking boxes, revealing items I'd forgotten I owned. Books Mom had called wasteful. Art pieces she'd dismissed as tasteless. Pieces of me I'd packed away to make room for their needs. "Look what I found," he said, pulling out a dusty camera. "Didn't you used to love photography?" Before Caden decided he was the artistic one. I took the camera, muscle memory clicking the settings into place. Mom said I was being competitive when I kept at it. "Take my picture," Nancy posed dramatically. "Let's make new memories." The viewfinder felt like home. I started shooting, Nancy laughing, Quinn unpacking, the sunset painting my empty apartment in possibilities. "These are good," Quinn said, looking at the previews. "Really good." "There's a gallery near my office," Nancy mentioned casually. "They do local artist showcases." "One step at a time," I laughed, but I didn't put the camera down. The doorbell rang. We all tensed. Through the peephole, I saw Corbin holding a package. "Special delivery." It was a doormat. The text read, "No guilt trips allowed." "Building warming gift," he grinned. "Plus, I changed all the locks. Again, just in case." "Stay for pizza," Quinn offered. "We're celebrating Independence Day." My phone buzzed with a text from Allison. "Final paperwork filed. The apartment's officially drama-proof. Drink soon?" Looking around at these people, my chosen family, I felt something unfamiliar bloom in my chest. Not guilt, not obligation, just peace. "Hey!" Nancy called from the kitchen. "Where should we put your coffee maker? The one your mom said was too expensive?" "My coffee maker," I corrected, smiling. "And right on the counter where everyone can see it." Quinn snapped a picture of me setting it up. "For your next Reddit update?" "No," I said. "For me. To remember this moment, the sun set on my first real day of freedom, painting the empty walls with promise. Tomorrow, I'd pick paint colours. Next week, I'd meet Dad. Maybe soon, I'd submit photos to that gallery. But tonight, surrounded by love that came with no price tags, I was exactly where I needed to be. So, Quinn said, raising his wine glass, what's next? I looked at my camera, at my coffee maker, at my life finally becoming mine. Everything, I said. Everything is next. The future stretched out before me, blank as my walls, ready for whatever I chose to create. For the first time, the only expectations I had to meet were my own. And that felt like the biggest victory of all.